everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. Pretty exciting to be in here with people. I've been walking through this lobby by myself for about 15 months. I want to remind you all that we're also broadcasting tonight. So we have a TV audience, and I know Jim and Roseanne and Lucy, you guys are watching, so thank you so much. So we have some people that are going to be here with cameras while we're broadcasting to our TV land. And then also those white wine drinkers, we wanted to make sure it was chilled. So if you want white wine, it's on the table in buckets. So you can go grab a bucket and have some nice cold white wine, all right? We didn't want to, be prejudiced against you and just put red on the table. So there is white wine here. This will also be the last time the center will serve you in a container. With our COVID catering regulations, all the food had to be in a container. But you are welcome to use your plate or eat out of the container. It's up to you. But we gave you lots of options. And staff will be coming around with some trash cans to collect the containers for you. So enjoy, and thank you, Emily's Catering Cakes, for the dinner that they're serving tonight. So I want to welcome you. It's been 15 long months, and this is our first live event at the center. Isn't that amazing? Pretty exciting. All right, I'm going to go get started, because I know that, tonight, we really just want to party, right? I do. So let's get through, how much ticket sales can I really talk about? I mean, let's be real. So we'll get through this presentation, and then we'll go have some fun with Lorraine. I want to welcome all of you, and real quick, if you are on the board of directors at the Center for the Arts, please stand up and wave your hand. We want to acknowledge you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to our board of directors. If you are on the advisory council of the Center for the Arts, can you please stand up? I know Lynn, you're out here, Barb, Thomas. Thank you so much for your participation on the advisory council. They give us lots of advice, good advice. And the staff. I want to thank the staff at the center. Can you guys stand up? We have some new faces. Eli, Juniper. Jennifer's here. Thank you, everyone. You guys have worked really hard, so thank you. All right, I saw on the list, and I was amazed, because I'm always amazed when people come to this that don't know who we are at all. I saw some names on the list, and I'm like, they don't know us. So I just want to introduce you to the Center for the Arts. We are a venue that provides and presents music, dance, theater, lectures, and we've been around for 20 years. Then this is actually our 20th anniversary. It actually started last year, but we weren't really celebrating last year. So we're here tonight to celebrate our 20th anniversary. And you are in our newly renovated 492-seat theater. So good for you. You have a fancier, nicer seat than we had before. So I like to call this, back in the good old days, in 2020, and also if you're new and you've never been to this event, who's never been to the annual meeting? A lot of you. So the annual meeting is basically where we do a short presentation of our annual report. Thus, I made the joke about the ticket sales, because there weren't so many. And we talked to you about 2020, and this was the strangest 2020 or year for the center ever, right? So we'll go through this presentation, and then you just get to have fun and eat dinner. Back in January and February, we had no idea this was going to happen. We had 5 sold-out shows in a row, Ladysmith Black Mambazo, Rodney Crowell. We were on top of the world, and we were opening our newly renovated theater after being shut down for 2 years in March. And then March came, and we were closed after one performance. We all remember that night. How many people were here for Tinsley Ellis? A lot of you, right? Our one time to hear the sound system, our one time to have an audience in the house. We rescheduled 180 shows. We have moved some shows, thank you for your patience, 4 times. If you are a Los Lobos ticket holder, you're a hero. We know that a lot of you call and you're like, I know I have 50 tickets and I don't know what's going on. We don't either. Some artists haven't yet got their mojo going and they haven't rebooked their tour. So thank you for your patience while we work with the agents and the artist to get this going on again. But I like to say that although we were not allowed to have a live audience, we never once closed in these 15 months. We were always open to the community, we always had art, and we always supported artists. So what were we doing? Our gallery was open the entire time, except for a little bit there with the shelter in place, but other than that, our gallery was open. We had 70 artists in 5 exhibitions, the tongue twister. Our Open Studios tour, we did it anyway, despite COVID, and we had 40 artists in Open Studios with 8 virtual and 32 in person. If you're curious, this is about 50% less than we do in a normal year, but we went forward and we supported those artists. We really grew our arts education programs last year. We knew that the arts combat the effects of isolation, and it was a very isolating year for many of us, and the arts was the recovery for that. So we added adult classes. We did a memoir class that had participants from all over the world, and we said, hey, having things online means we have a greater audience. It elevates our visibility. And so it was a huge benefit to us. We did 19 classes with adults and youth, and we gave out scholarships, no questions asked. All of our scholarships are no questions asked, and we provide them to any youth or family that asks for them. We also knew that our artists in this community needed to be supported. They were without gigs, many of them, that's their entire livelihood. And we said, how can we support them? And we started a From the Center music series where we had local artists on the stage. There was a tip jar, you could tip while you were watching them. Even Ed Thomas learned how to do the tip jar on his phone. I had to talk him through it a couple of times, but he figured it out, and that's awesome. And I just got to point out too, Ed gave to all of those shows. He was in the tip jar every single time, so thank you, Ed. Those artists needed our support, and we were there to provide that. And I have to thank also Dick and Ann Menser. I think you guys are here tonight somewhere. Oh, yes. And Dick lent equipment to us in the early days when we did not own our own. So thank you for that equipment. It launched our whole series, and it instilled in us this crazy love to do broadcast. And we didn't know it was gonna be so fun, but it was super fun. I like to say I felt like Phil Donahue, and no one on my staff knows what that means. But anyway, and you know what was the best part? Is when we had to lay off a lot of people when COVID hit from our staff that we had just hired because we were opening the doors. We were able to provide jobs to our production team that would otherwise not have any work. So the stage manager, the lighting people, the sound people, and all of these great camera people, we were able to provide them jobs. So we paid local people who were out of work salaries so that they could continue to thrive in the community. So we are really proud of that fact. So the financials, this will be super short. So we immediately reacted to COVID with an art center emergency fund. We raised $175,000 right off the bat with that fund, so thank you to all of you who contributed. What is so interesting about this is that almost 40% of the gifts were under $50. So this was not members. This was not the people, we see you guys all the time and we know you're very generous. This was people out in the community who were giving 10, 15, 25 bucks because they knew this is the crown jewel of Nevada County and it is newly built and it is going to take us places and they didn't want to see it go away. So I think that is such a testament to what we have created here. So many people in the community supported us. these are some of the things that we did to, thrive and survive. We tried to get our story nationally. It was in the LA Times. We were on the news. Shutting down after one day was news. And so, we definitely worked it to try and get more support and leverage more support for the center. This is an incredible slide that Juniper, our new graphic designer, made just a few days ago. This equals 1,784 donors that contributed during our shutdown through the tip jar, to a small donation, to a donation at the gala, to a donation at any of our events, or support for an artist. This is 1,784 people that helped the center. All right, so when you build a building, what do? You got to go out and get a bank loan, and you got to figure out, how am I going to do this, and what is it going to be like that our building is totally different than our financial models before. So we had done a lot of financial planning. We have a great person on our board, Tyson Tucker, who's over here, that really is awesome with the numbers, and he helped us do our whole financial plan. Unfortunately, we didn't do what we thought. What we thought was going to happen is the green. Yellow is what really happened, and red is the difference. So you can see in ticket sales, we were projecting 1.7 million in ticket sales. That did not happen. Our memberships were just slightly down. There were no shows, and you guys still gave, so thank you. That's so generous. Grant income, I usually budget about 20 to 30,000 in grants a year, and we were almost 600,000. So this was a big difference, and I'll talk a little bit about that. Very early on, the CARES Act funding started to come, and it first was with the National Endowment for the Arts, and I immediately applied for that grant, and we received it. We were very generous. Many of my colleagues in the industry did not get that CARES Act funding from the National Endowment for the Arts. And also, I have to thank Nevada County. They were doing the relief fund, and that was small grants to lots of businesses. And then they received more CARES Act funding, and they decided, we need to make sure the anchor institutions of the community are still here after this happens. And so they gave us a macro grant of 400,000. So thank you to Nevada County. That support brought us to where we are right here. We really were thinking, do we need to close? Do we need to lay off more staff? What do we need to do? And that support kept us open. And because we're open, we are able to reopen, and we are able to rebuild. So it meant everything to us to have that support. So does anybody remember this? Do you know where this is? Does it look familiar? We're going to show you a short video about what we were. And this is just a reflection on the last 20 years and how far we have come. It's kind of amazing.
Hi, this is Rufus Wainwright, and I just did a fabulous show here at the Grass Valley Center for the Arts, and I hope to come back after the renovations are done and enjoy the wonderful public and a brand new space and more air conditioning.
Hi, I'm John Blinder. I'm one of the original members of the Board of Directors of the Center for the Arts. I was the president of the board from about at the end of 1999 through about 2007. What is now the Gail and Leo Granucci Gallery, we used to call the Van Gogh Room. And we used to do all of our shows in the Van Gogh Room. We had this amazing connection to singer-songwriters, people like Chris Hillman from the Byrds, Rambling Jack Elliott, Steve Earle, and many, many others.
After the concert, I had an opportunity to meet John Blinder, who was the president of the board at the Center for the Arts. Now, back then, when you were a board member, you just didn't attend a monthly board meeting. No, we had to sell tickets every Friday and Saturday night. During those years, too, we were renting the Center for the Arts, and at that time, John Blinder decided that he would purchase the building with the intent that he would turn it over to him, and that's what John did. So if you looked at the building at that time, it did not look like a theater. John and I got together, we said, let's paint the building. We selected a lavender purple color. And on a Saturday, now there were people driving by honking the horns and support, and there were some doing some gestures and not support for the color of the New Center for the Arts.
First, was the big transition for the center that happened was the first offsite show that we did at the Vets Hall, and that actually came when I inherited that show as the executive director, and it was the Smothers Brothers. It was like a $25,000 fee, and the center was not in good shape, and it was scary. It was a big risk, and we decided to go big and do, I think it was a $125 VIP ticket, and they sold out. I don't think the center had done a ticket over $25 before that, so this was a big lift. And then we sold out the whole show, and I remember standing, in the back with Nancy Solian, who had been here before me, and so we were just like figuring it all out. And we looked at each other and we said, "We did it! It's happening!" And everyone's laughing and having the best time. And we went outside and we popped open a bottle of champagne.
We are so thrilled to be here at the Center for the Arts, a brand new venue which unfortunately got closed down right after COVID began, and I know that everyone here has been working hard to try and keep the energy going for this new venue, and we're just so pleased to be part of this live music series here.
When I walked into the center for the first time after it was reopened, I totally cried. So beautiful. I couldn't get over just how well lit and well painted and how clean and beautiful it felt. And I was just so happy.
Oh, I just absolutely was blown away by the clean lines, the look of the place. You walk in and it feels fresh and lively and straight lines and welcoming. And then you go in and the color inside is this rich, wonderful red. And then you sit down and you hear the sound. It's just sublime.
And we're expanding our visual arts programming, and we're going to expand the type of programs that we have on the stage. And I think in the next 20 years, we'll have more than one venue. I think we'll have more than one location, and we'll be involved in more community events. And I think that it'll be more fully integrated into the community.
A few weeks ago, I had an opportunity to see the center first time in its completion of the restoration. I walked in there and I was in awe. So impressed. I sat there and reflected back the last 20 years and how it's grown and the contribution, the economic contribution it's made to the community. It really made me feel proud.
In the last 20 years, I don't think anyone could have predicted how far the center would come. We are an amazing, resilient organization, and I look forward to the next 20 years. We now have this fantastic facility. We are now capable of streaming and doing technology that we never dreamed of with performing artists. So I applaud all of the supporters who have made this happen. Your dedication to the arts in Nevada County have made the center what it is today. And I look forward to our journey being together for the next 20 years at the Center for the Arts. And we're live, we're back. Thank you, everybody. I know, have you guys been in a TV studio / theater / having dinner in a box before? Awesome, that's great. I wanna just give a shout out real quick. There's, I think one person, at least in this room, that has also been executive director. Can you please wave your hand? Where's Paul? Oh, there you are. Our executive director, what are the years? What were the years, Paul? What were the years? What years were you, ED? 2000 to 2008. 2000 to 2008. I have a t-shirt for you. You can choose whatever one you want. And we also have some farmer board members in here. Peter Wilson, you were on the board. George Jane, you were on the board. Who am I missing? Anyone else who served on the board? Hindi was on the board. Oh, Barb Thomas was on the board. Okay, I have t-shirts for all of you. And Keith Porter was on the board. So thank you guys for your leadership and for helping the center through the first 20 years. And now the rest of you other board members, I hope you saw in the video where Leo said that you work selling tickets Friday and Saturday. That's a good idea, right? Should we do that again? Oh, they're kind of shying away from that idea, I think. Well, I have t-shirts for all you former board members as a thank you for our 20th anniversary and for being here tonight. So you can come get them from me later. No what? Oh, I don't have a t-shirt cannon. It's in the shop. But I just want to say thank you. And thank you to Paul for running this place for 8 years. So we've changed. It was the pioneering years, he says. So we've changed a bit in the last 2 years. We now have 492 seats, which are nicely tucked away in that little barrier under there. You seriously do push a button. And I remember when we did the annual meeting a couple of years ago, Jeff Wenzel asked at the annual meeting, do you remember this? If people might get trapped when we put the seats away. And no one has gotten trapped so far. So I want you to know we've been very safe when we put the seats away. Nobody's in there. We have an ADA entrance at the front of the building. Now our building is fully ADA accessible, which it never was, so thank you. If you have a hearing aid with a T-coil, you hear me perfectly right now because there's a copper loop system that runs throughout the floor and in the seats. Your T-coil turns on and you only hear me and you don't hear the cacophony that many people with hearing loss, it prevents them from wanting to attend events like this. So I'm so proud that we're able to put that technology in for this building. And we have more restrooms. And I don't remember who it was, but at the last annual meeting when we were doing construction, the women said, 8 is not enough. Take one away from the men and give us one more. And we did it. Was it Judy? Was it you? Oh. But I remember it was at the annual meeting that you guys were like, no, women get one more. So we did steal from the men. We gave the women one more. So men, you got 4, women have 9. That's the way it should be. We have a beautiful sound and broadcast room that I thought was going to be offices, and now it's a broadcast room. Thank you, Telestream, for donating all the equipment. We have a green room with a shower, so if Lorraine has a little bit of a sweat after her performance, she can shower tonight. That's new. And we have very flexible seating because we can do anything we want in here with those seats, as long as we don't put any people in there, right, Jeff? We don't want to do that. So this is where we are now. I want to thank Jim Pyle for this beautiful photography. If you don't know, Jim Pyle, who's on our board, has a history as an architect photographer, and he spent 4 weeks in this building because we were empty and he could. And he photographed every configuration there is because we're going to be the hottest rental venue in the county too, another source of revenue we plan. All right, I want to talk to you about, so we've established some wonderful things in the past 20 years. And I want to make a pledge to you tonight that your socks are really gonna be knocked off in the next 20 for what we have planned. I've spent so much time in this building alone, which is odd, like walking through, using the restroom, and we are in this big, huge building by ourselves. There's one other staff, all the staff worked at home, except for one, and so it was just the two of us in here a lot. And as I would go through this building, walking around the rooms, I thought to myself, what an incredible campus. It's not even really a building, right? It's a campus. We have dance studios upstairs, we have a black box, we have classroom space, we have everything now. So what we plan on building is really an arts campus that we can use to build our arts education programs, because they have been the backbone of the center when we could not perform to a live audience. And it became so critical to us that this is what we need to do. We need to build these programs. So these are some things that we will be building over the next 20 years, and probably sooner. I'll tell you, I can probably do this in 2. But, you know, I like to challenge. I like a good challenge, right? All right, low to no cost student matinees. So we will pack this house with 500 children 4 times a year to experience some professional theater. Children's theater program, which needs to happen in Nevada County, and what a better place for that to launch than right here. Artist in Schools program, Space Sharing Initiative, which we did launch last year, and we provide free space. Right now we provide $25,000 worth of free rentals to nonprofits in Nevada County for any event that they choose. Thank you. Artist in Residence program, we will be focusing on a cabaret series, and this is only because in COVID, when I didn't know what the seating regulations were gonna be, we bought these really cute cabaret tables, and I wanna launch a whole series around them because they're so cute, right? So that's like, you know, that's my little vanity project. Broadcast series, I wanna continue to broadcast. I don't wanna stop. I want us to continue to bring arts into the homes of our most vulnerable, the people that don't feel safe coming to a venue right now. I want to continue to bring arts to them. I don't want to shut off broadcasting. I want to continue. So we need your help to continue. And a songwriting festival. We have this beautiful campus. So why don't we launch a songwriting festival where people come for a week, they hone their craft, they write songs, and we could have artists in residence that are fantastic songwriters leading those sessions, and it would be a beautiful festival. So these are some of our dreams and hopes to use this arts campus that we've created. And now I'm going to show you an arts education video, and then you're going to hear a special message from Barb Thomas and Huck Ingram. Barb Thomas is our former board president, and she served for 7 years, is that right? 3. But she made such an impact, it felt like 7 on all of us. And Huck Ingram, who's currently on our board. So we're gonna watch this short video, and then you will, they'll be right down there for a little short message. Here at the Center for the Arts, we have grown our youth arts education programs exponentially in the past 5 years. What began as Family Fun Day, which was geared to the younger kids in our community, ages 4 and up, has now grown into summer camps, after-school camps, online programs, and we just introduced adult programs this year. I'm really proud of how we have listened to the community, how we listened to parents, how we listened to the needs of students. When the pandemic happened, we immediately responded with putting all of our classes online so that we could still provide arts to everyone in their home, whether they lived in Grass Valley or Switzerland or wherever they were. They tuned in, and we were able to provide arts opportunities. We listened to parents and heard them that they needed more. They needed more places to put their kids in the pandemic because their schools were closed. So recently we began more after-school classes because we realized so many kids are in a hybrid situation where they're home a lot of the time on Zoom. They're not having a lot of social interaction. We are committed at the Center for the Arts to make arts accessible for all. So many of our programs are offered for free, low to no cost, and we also provide scholarships for many of the programs. What youth arts education does is it's feeding our audience of tomorrow. Those kids become lovers of the arts through the dance and the art classes and the singing classes. Their appreciation of the arts begins there. For many kids, this is the first time they've been in a live professional theater. And then they come back, and they come back for years to come. Thank you for supporting the center and our youth arts education programs. You have made it possible for more than 7,500 children annually to get arts education here in Grass Valley. Huck, if you guys will make your way to the stage. Again, everyone, this is Barbara Thomas, former board president, and Huck Ingram, who is currently on the board of directors.
Hello. It's so great to be up here and look out at all your wonderful faces, and we had a lovely conversation with many of you earlier. And I would just want to say thank you so much to Amber Jo. She has been through this whole thing thick and thin. Also, you know, there are a couple other people here. John Tabor, who just walked me up, he's been here since the beginning. Debbie Curtis, Bryn Farwell. These people are amazing. And this is why Ed and I moved to this community. We were living in a small town in Northern California called MacArthur, and we had horses. And then we said, okay, no theater, no art, no music, no restaurants. I am dying on the vine. So we had a few friends down here, and so we came and visited, and we ended up buying a place out in Rough and Ready and bought the horses and so on. And I immediately got involved in the community. So I actually joined the board of Center for the Arts in 2010. We've been here 16 years. And it's changed my life to see the beauty in this community because of what the center has been able to do, plus the other organizations, which, by the way, the center is going to collaborate with Bright Futures for Youth and Music in the Mountains. In fact, Jeff Fleider, who is here tonight, told me, he said, you know what? I'm sponsoring 2 of the Summerfest programs that are being held in this auditorium. And then we start talking about the sound system and the lighting and how beautiful everything is in here and how exciting it is to collaborate with other organizations here in town. And Lynn Kirby, also here tonight, said, well, you know what? This is the jewel box. This is the place where we can gather. And I don't know, a lot of you know Ed and me, and we love going out. And so I'll tell you, when this place shut down, we thought, oh my God. And so when it opened back up, we were fortunate enough to come to a couple of small events here. And the arts in this community, and the music, and the theater, I read something online today that was just really moving to me. Music reaches the best nature in everyone. And so what's happening here is everything is coming to life. I feel like I'm coming to life. Ed feels like he's coming to life. Yay! But isn't it wonderful to be together and talk and hug? And, you know, we've made it through. And thanks to Amber and her whole team, it has been amazing. There are some new staff members, and we know everything is going to work beautifully. And so please join Ed, Debbie, and me and continue your support here at the Center for the Arts. It's really been a privilege to be part of all of this. Thank you.
Thanks, Barb. If 2020, and I guess the first half of 2021 has taught me anything, it's the importance of my pod. I've learned a lot about sitting at home with an 8-year-old. And she is beautiful, and I am forever grateful for the opportunity that this year has given me in terms of being a parent. I've really learned things and experienced things with my daughter Beverly that I never could have imagined in a regular world having the opportunity to pay attention to in that capacity. And I think that, you know, in line with youth arts and everything that the center's doing, the center has created a truly beautiful pod. And I love being a part of it. I love the people that it brings. I love the community that it provides. I love the education that it gives. And I love the opportunity that it gives children to express themselves. Arts are incredibly important. I would not be who I am if it were not for arts, and I would not be living in this community if it were not for the center. And when I chose to move to this area, I left LA, and LA has a very, very robust artistic community, but it's not this. And I can think of no better community to raise children in, to have a family, to be a young professional. It's not easy, but the arts make it better and they make it palatable. And so the center is a true resource for any parent, any community member, anybody that wants to experience something that really feeds souls. And I feel like after 2020 and the beginning of 2021, we're all so ready to get back in here and listen to music and see a play and be with one another. So the center, in my opinion, is doing a phenomenal job providing that to children who were starving for it. If you think about, being an adult and how much you crave it, and how capable you are of expressing yourself and your needs. Imagine being an 8-year-old or a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old who doesn't know what that angst inside of them is, and they're looking for a way to express themselves. The center provides that, and I'm very grateful to Amber and the rest of the team for giving that to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Huck and Barb.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I know you guys you're getting your food. They're passing around your meal. And again, feel free to eat in the carton, or you can put it on a plate. That's why we gave you a plate. You can go fancy, you can go cash, however you want to do it. Hopefully, and when we have the gala on November 19th, we're just going to do Chinese food in cartons. No, I'm just kidding. Well, it'll be Antonio for the gala, November 19th. Yay! And I was telling Lisa, I was like, we gave them chicken all through the construction. Let's give them beef. So we're going to give you beef at the gala, which will be in here November 19th. So save that date. I know you're eating, but under your plate, there's like a menu that you might see, a little piece of paper. And on the back of that piece of paper, lo and behold, somebody put a donation form. Eli, did you do that? Did you put a donation form on the back of the menu? Oh my gosh. And because we're also so modern these days, we have a QR code. So Cameron will come around with envelopes and pins throughout the evening, and you can make your donation and stick it in that envelope, and we'll come and collect it. Or you can show off those iPhone skills and use the QR code where you go to take a picture and then it says open this website and it takes you to the online donation portal on ClickBid. So you can do either or, but we don't let you out of the building until you donate. Oh my gosh, no one thought that was funny. That's so crazy. I thought I was rolling with it, but oh well. All right. So these are a few things to know that the center needs. We need to reopen successfully, right? We have come so far, and we need some help to just get it off the ground and make a really successful impact in the community as we reopen. We have more students applying for scholarships than ever before, probably the effects on families from the pandemic. We need to provide more student scholarships, so $250 sends a student to camp. So if you can give $250, that's what will help us. We also, because we have so many students that want to come, we're mostly almost sold out. We need to add more classes. $500 hires another art teacher so that we can add more classes for the need that's in the community right now. 750 streams one of our shows. We're going to be at the fairgrounds this summer, outside with Taj Mahal and Tommy Emmanuel and Los Lobos and all that. So you can help get that show streamed with $750. $1,000 is an intimate cabaret just because Amber Jo wants to use the tables. because they're cute, and I bought little, I went to Yuba Blue this afternoon, and I got these little cute votives. I keep getting it wrong, and everyone keeps correcting me. $3,000 purchased as a student matinee. We had the most incredible student matinees that were canceled. It breaks my heart. From Australia and from Scotland, all these different programs we were gonna do, and we will revive them, and we want to do it again. That's what I just said, $3,000 for a student matinee. And the Children's Theater Program, which is my dream of launching, and if you don't know, who remembers Foothill Theater Company? Yeah? Who do you think used to direct the Children's Theater? Yeah, I'll never forget, I used to have to do that whole Tahoe Shakespeare thing, and there was this one little girl that she said she was the niece of Alec Baldwin. Ooh, you should have heard her mother when I didn't give her the lead in Midsummer's Night Dream. It was bad. But I used to do it for Foothill Theater Company, and it was really a love. I mean, when you didn't have a girl claiming to be Alec Baldwin's niece, it was really enjoyable. And I would like to launch this here at the center, and we need your support to start to do that. I'm hoping to launch the Children's Theater Program by January of 2022. All right, and just a quick one more thanks to the staff and the board and the advisory council. This was hard work. 2 years of being closed for construction on top of a pandemic is hard work. And this is the staff that made it happen. Thank you to all of you. I also have to give a special shout out to Tony, who's my new assistant. So when I don't answer your phone, call Tony and complain. You totally can do that. Tony's here to help me out with getting back to all of you in a timely manner. But Tony had to jump in after being here like 2 days and plan this event, and he did a marvelous job. So thank you to Tony, who's new here, and he did a great job putting this together very last minute. And to our board for being so supportive on this difficult, challenging time. And our advisory council. We couldn't do this without you. So I just want to really say thank you. This was a lot of hard work, and you guys all made it possible. And now we're here again, which is amazing. And we're not going anywhere. We're going to still be here for years to come watching some great artists. I'll thank our sponsors on the event real quick. Caroline's Coffee is coming at you. Little Boy Flowers did the flowers for us. Emily's Catering and Cakes is bringing you your food. Montalivo Vineyards is on your table. And in a little while, after you're done with your lasagna or polenta, you're going to see Lorraine Gervais on the stage. Who hasn't seen a live music performance inside for, say, a year and a half? Yeah, everyone here. So it's going to be crazy, right? Awesome. And these little cabaret tables that I keep talking about because I think they're so cute, you're welcome after your dinner to come claim one of these. Is Jeff Leiter here? Did he show up? Oh, Jeff, where are you? Oh, Jeff, I saved you that one right there in the front. Well, you said you wanted one of the cabaret tables, so I put your name on one, just so you're all set. I didn't want you to go without. We've already gone without a lot, right? All of us. Hindi says you need to write a big check for the cabaret table that I... All right. I also need to thank my family. And also thank all of the staff, because I think my husband went through some of the Zoom calls in his underwear behind me. So thank you for that. Thank you for your patience while we were all Zooming at home. And thank you to my family, and thank you for everyone, the board and the staff, for dealing with my 10-year-old while I was at home, like trying to get through this, and teaching at the same time, being the sole teacher for many months while trying to keep the center from sinking. So I want to thank you for that. It was tough and awesome. I want every mom to get an award. I also need to thank some of our annual sponsors, Briar Patch Foods. You are amazing. Thank you so much. I think Rebecca's here somewhere, maybe? No, maybe she didn't make it, but anyway, oh, over there. I just want to say thank you to Briar Patch. Courtyard Sweets, Dignity Health, the Lee and Dunn Group. They couldn't be here with us tonight, but we know they love us. The Union, and our newest sponsor, the National Hotel in the Holbrook, who will be housing all of our artists for the summer series. And the Nevada County Fairgrounds for giving us a deal on that summer series, because otherwise it wouldn't be possible at all. So thank you to all of you. Enjoy your lasagna. In a few minutes, we're gonna show you a video it's about our From the Center series. And I'm really proud of the work that we did with that series. And I have to point out Judy. Judy named the broadcast room over your late husband, Ed Hobbs, because he was huge at Grass Valley Group and an inspiration on broadcast. And it was so special that she named that room in his honor. And really, I didn't know the pandemic was coming, and we all didn't know we were gonna use it so much. And it's been amazing to have that room and to broadcast so many shows from that room. And it's just amazing, so thank you. And we're gonna show you a little video in a few minutes about, go ahead and enjoy your meal, and then we'll show you a video about that series and how we did it. And then our board president, Betsy, is gonna say a few words following that video. All right? So enjoy. It'll be just about 10 minutes and we'll do that video. And I will also just need to say good night to our TV audience. Oh, you're over at this camera. Thank you, Mark. I know some of you are at home. Jim Pyle, Roseanne, Lucy, Bruce, we love you guys, and I hope you're enjoying your meal at home and you had fun watching this. If you tuned out and you're watching something on Amazon Prime, you can watch this later. And thank you to all of our other folks that are watching this at home. This concludes your home portion for the evening, but if anyone wants to hop in their car and come boogie to Lorraine, you are welcome to. So have a good night. All right, so I don't have to talk to a TV anymore. We're all done. In March, when COVID-19 shuttered venues across our nation, the center thought of you. We thought of our members, we thought of the artists, we thought of our stage workers, and we thought, how can we support them during this time? We created the series From the Center, a live music broadcast that began in June in 2020. Through this series, we are providing jobs to the stage workers that would otherwise be out of work, gigs to musicians that maybe haven't played together since March, and we are bringing entertainment and the arts to the homes of everyone in Nevada County and across the world.
That the center looked at us and put this series together with local artists and local talent and gave us the opportunity to present ourselves in a venue like this online. That reach for us was phenomenal.
We're all looking for ways to still connect with our friends and family and fans who like to listen to live music. And we're just so pleased to be part of this live music series here.
This community built the Center for the Arts, and everybody working on this project has really experienced the magic of the center and the community support behind that.
In this challenging time, we have to find ways of supporting not only the center, but all the artists who have been sacrificing their livelihoods over the last several months.
We're very lucky that we have these communities that we've developed over the years, and these communities have found ways to stay connected through these times. So we're very grateful for our community. It's so nice to come into a venue like this and be well taken care of so that we can just play our music.